Welcome to another episode of Exploring Starcraft 2 Lore, a series where we'll be going through various bits of the in-game lore, finding out what we can, learning things as we go along. This is going to be a first read of Nature of the Beast, part of the War Chest comics. I've already covered everything else below here. You can find it on my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's going to be in the playlist. Together with this or not, you can click down below. If you are clicking down below, do like and subscribe. If not for me, fantastically. Alright, so let's get into nature of the beast. Okay, so first a few things about this war chest, which is relevant. Based on everything I researched, this series is incomplete. It ends on a somewhat of a cliffhanger because this was actually part of a bundle of comics called the War Chest comics. Hi Tech One, thanks for coming on the stream. Haven't seen you in a bit. So what the War Chest was that these were a set of skins that were released, and they were supposed to fund, future projects. They were supposed to fund esports. For example, let's just say the Ghost. Oh, well, how perfect we are, the Ghost. Tartarus Ghost, Emotion Ghost, Augustus Marauder Ghost, all these were part of a bundle that came along, that cost I think like $30 for each race, or $60 for all three races. So if you bought the thing, you got like the entire Emotion set. So you got Emotion Ghost, you get the Emotion Cyclone. You could buy them individually, but they were part of the set. They also included things, hey, the Ghost Academy. They also included things like the Special Forces, Ghost Academy, all these things. But then what happened was that basically they announced mid, I think 29, I think it was either 2020 or 29, I think 2019, that they were not going to do any more paid content, which meant no more war chest. So it looked like we were not going to get the end of the story. So that's the disclaimer. You can still read it. There'll be a link to this website down below in the description, and obviously it's on the screen. We're still going to read it. This is kind of the last pieces of Starcraft 2 lore that was released as far as I know. Right, and as an announcement, I plan to do a read-through, or rather a sit-down and discussion about this set of comics with Subsorian, who is the administrator of the Starcraft wiki. So he's basically a mostly rambling about cool Starcraft muck I stumbled upon. He's basically kind of the expert, as well as another guest called Counterfeit DLC. He actually, let me see if I can pull it up. He actually does this series on Reddit, where he writes up these reports about the different books and about the different laws. It's pretty detailed. If you like reading, if you like Starcraft lore, this is the place to go. So we'll be doing a kind of a podcast. I've done something like this in the past, but we'll be doing that in the future. But enough rambling about future projects. Let's get to it. Alright, on to the story. War Chest, Nature of the Beast. Alright, so here we got two very prominent figures of the Terran race. Three actually. We have Nova, November Terran, one of the top assassins. In fact, her in-game name is... she's basically a Dominion ghost, as per her co-op commander, recommended for experienced players, so on and so forth. The other guy we have is Donnie Vermilion, and this is the same guy as you'll see in the co-op mission, the Vermilion Problem. He's the announcer. It's a very, very funny character. I remember Kevin Dong, who used to be in charge of co-op, mentioning that they wanted to bring back, these larger-than-life personalities to become the host of the map. But enough of that, let's move on with this. And the third character in the background, this is Mengsk. So that's the thing, this is Mengsk Senior, Augustus Mengsk. He was the father of Valerian Mengsk, and he was kind of deposed by the Queen of Blades with the permission of Valerian. And you can see that there's a big poster, him in the background, there's a big cross over his eyes. Somebody's not happy about this, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, you have Brian Alexander for the script, Carlos Rodriguez for the art, so on and so forth. Yep, Kevin Dong, creative consultant. He's the one who... Oh, Ryan Shuttler is also labeled here. Interesting. A lot of the people you see here, for example, Kevin Dong and Ryan Shuttler, they've actually moved on to Frost Giant Studios. A lot of the old StarCraft 2 team basically left to create their own studio. Our team, Tim Morton, if you read the other series, you'll see him. Where is he? Here's Ryan Shutter, here's Kevin Dong, lead former co-op designer StarCraft 2, former lead designer on StarCraft 2 as well. A lot of old StarCraft 2 people. It's basically a who's who. You just take a look at this, take a look at the credits. Some of the art people have moved on to other companies and doing other things, but that's the idea. Okay, Daddy, you can do this. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, loyal viewers. This is Donnie Vermillion. Today's top story: amnesty for Raiders, and olive fudge on the first sign of the apocalypse. The Donnie Vermillion Show. In fact, Emperor Valerian's laissez-faire attitude has allowed many terrorists to roam free, including Nova Terra. She was recently spotted on Aspar, where she aided in the murder of an upstanding Dominion officer named Captain Horath. A tragedy, to be sure. This is a reminder: tomorrow is the anniversary of our glorious leader's death. Emperor Arcturus Max cut down in his prime. Sorry folks, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. This is Donnie Vermillion signing off. Okay, very interesting. Let's go page by page as I normally do. So what we see is that Donnie's in front of a camera. I would think that this is like the recording drone here. Basically in front of a camera. It seems that he's got his own show now. Alright, the TLDR of what happened here is that Donnie Vermillion used to be the anchor on UNN, basically a very high level journalist. However, after the fall of Augustus, or rather after it was revealed that Megs basically caused a huge tragedy. Basically, Megs released the Zerg onto his rivals and the Zerg ate them. But it basically destroyed an entire planet called... not Kohol. Or not Augustgrad. It basically destroyed the Confederate capital of New Gettysburg. Basically destroyed the city. Apparently Donnie Vermillion's brother was one of the casualties. He basically suffered a nervous breakdown and resigned from the show. We don't see him in game until the mission the Vermillion Problem. He was featured in the campaign, and that's kind of that. No. Anyway, while we wait for that to load, let's keep on going. Here's the thing, Captain Hogwarts. I think that this is the same captain from the Shadow War series. You can go and read about that. Captain Hogwarts was basically a corrupt asshole that left his troops to die in order to get Jorium crystals. So Nova and her team was, writing the scales. This picture here is very, very interesting because this picture of Mengsk is the same one you have in the StarCraft 2 cinematic. Augustus Mengsk. Oh, come on. It's the same one in the cinematic. Can't find it. Never mind. In the podcast version, we'll have the picture up and running. And yeah, he was cut down in his prime. Yeah, sort of true. This is very interesting because here's the thing: Valerian at this point in time should have taken over, and it kind of implies that Donnie should. This should not be on UNN. Because I can't imagine Valerian Mengsk, the son, allowing this. Because again, Valerian let his father die. He didn't pull the trigger, but he let Kerrigan. He let Kerrigan and Raider, for the matter, cut him down. Right, moving off. Sigh. What's it all come to, Augustus? I put my heart and soul into my work, and what it's gotten for me. Mocked divided, cast aside. People say Donny Vermilion's a propaganda artist, a tool of the state, a shill. Well, I tend to prove them wrong, or even if it kills me. You have one new message. I'll find some way to get back on top. Hey Donny, have I got a story for you? Or maybe you'll find me. Okay, so we can see that he's in a pretty bad state. The thing behind him is not a studio, it's just a shower curtain. There's a picture of him and Mags. He's got an adorable cat. He's... What is this? Cat food? This is some drink. This is the same, I think, red suit that you see him. Okay, let's pull his pictures. Yep, this is the same red suit you see him on UNN. He has a cat named Augustus. Yeah. Again, thanks to Subsorian for maintaining the page. And he's not in a good place. Not too much to break down here. I guess this is his camera. 4 days later, on the fringes of Dominion space. So the place we're headed to, Tartarus. Right, Tartarus. I didn't realize your tip will lead us halfway across the sector. What can you tell me about it? Well, I've been hauling Joram out this way for a while now. Money was good, so I did ask questions. Last run, some kind of orbital defense platform nearly blew me out of the sky. I radioed the colony, but nobody answered. Weird, right? You know, back when I was working at UNN, we were expressly forbidden from mentioning the place. You think old Meg's left something for us to find out there? That, my friend, it's exactly what I'm hoping to discover. Okay, so a bit more interesting things here. He's going to a planet called Tartarus. I don't actually know of any Starcraft 2 planet called Tartarus. There's Char, there's Marsala. Tartarus is basically the Greek word for hell, by the way, so probably a lava. It's not going to be a nice place. Here's the thing. So in this conversation, it's implied that Donny Vermillion is no longer working at UNN, which is evident if it's not by this. I bet he's doing some sort of YouTube show. What kind of pathetic YouTube? Never mind. What kind of YouTuber is covering an old news, a dead topic, and Starcraft 2 is not getting any updates anyway. Alright, apart from that, we got a lot of interesting oh, good lord. Okay, so whoever this smuggler is on this transport, this is something, because you can see that this is a Zergling in the background, not much of a deal, but these look like Protoss skulls. So if this guy was actually able to fight both Zerg and Protoss and survive, although obviously he could have just bought it. Alright, let's move on. You saved my life, I did. Back during the war, my bleeding heart cold pulled me off the line for reckless aggression. Said I enjoyed killing aliens too much. Can you believe that? Then I told myself, hell, Donny Vermillion would never stand in the way of justice. So what did you do? Put a couple of slugs in my CO, solved the problem. Never would have the courage to pull the trigger if it weren't for you. Gulp, that's heartwarming to hear. Oh, I love this. Like you had this skull with the bullet hole right here, and only now it's kind of implied that like this is the CO, and this dude is good and proper psychopath. That Donny Vermillion is now realizing what he's getting himself into. See where this goes. 13 hours later, here we are, Vermillion Tartarus, initiating scans. Well, there's your problem right there. Place is swarming with Zerg. You didn't say anything about the Zerg. Didn't notice them before. Infestation must have hit hard. Come on, let's take a closer look. What? Okay, this is actually quite interesting because these satellites are... Oh man, this is very interesting. These satellites, by the way, are the same ones from the Brood War menu. Brood War menu. Yep, so if you load Brood War, which is by the way free to play, you can actually, like, there's this satellite here. This is for the single player, I think, but again, you look at this satellite, Look at that, so it's the same satellite, or the same model of satellite. So currently right now in the Dominion, like, Zerg infestation is a pretty big deal because, you know, you never know when the Zerg gonna come, the Zerg gonna eat you, and then that's the last thing you're gonna see. Turn around, you idiot! Choom, 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 you wanted a story, did you? I'm not ready to die for it. Quick, jump on the tower and give us some covering fire. He runs away. Wait. By the way, there's a Protoss skull up here, like, this is one heck of a... I didn't know that these satellites were armed. Like, I've never seen them fire anywhere else. They're not an in-game unit. They might have been in one of the levels, but I don't remember these satellites being like this lethal. Okay, let's move on. Wait. If this is a turret, where's the gun? It's like you always say, Mr. Vermilion, take the story wherever it leads. You'll find out what's down there and I'll draw fire. Let's make all Arcturus proud. No, no, no. Psh, boom. Okay, so this is not the best of plans. I don't know why this guy, like, he's dodging the shots fine. I don't know why he's not attacking, I don't know why he's not disengaging. I'm gonna guess that he thought that he could, you know, break through the... He could dodge the lasers and then get to the planet. We actually don't know what this is. We don't know if it's a drawrium reserve, if it's minerals. It's probably got to be something important, which is why that this nut job of a pilot wants to get it down. But hey, at the end of the day, Vermilion's alive. This guy's not. A short distance away. Nova, you should see this. Can it wait? How about head down to the surface? You aren't the only one. We got company? Who could possibly know about this place? You gotta be kidding me. So alright, that's the end of the comic. Alright, so this is pretty interesting. So it looks like Nova is just basically just chilling in a spacecraft. On board the Griffin. So here's the thing, at the end of Nova Covert Ops, she was basically allowed to go rogue. She was allowed to go rogue, and in doing so, you know, because here's the idea that Valerian and Horda had, which that it's better to have a rogue agent that we are plausible deniability, that we can quietly fund from afar. Like this spaceship, and she's got her own forces, state of the art, totally loyal to her. Regal over here is her right hand man. This gun is interesting. This gun has actually been featured in the game. Let's see if I can load it. Okay, here we go. So this is part of the Nova Covert Ops, which I purchased. It's under equipment. There we go. So her standard weapon is the C28 canister rifle, but in this case she's got the Hellfire shotgun, and you can see that this weapon is clearly the same one here. In-game is very good as the anti-Zerg, although to be fair, it's very good anti-Zerg because it does AoE, it fires in a cone. As for her suit, she's not wearing the phase reactor. I guess she's wearing her tactical stealth suit. She's got her ghost visor on her head. You can see it down here. In Covert Ops you got all the little pieces of equipment, and that's all we can see. We're bouncing back between the two. So it's kind of funny because, again, first of all, I love this artwork. It's like this guy just like his head's there, he's just screaming out of it, he's way over his head. Nova now needs to deal with this abnormality. Here's the interesting thing. So she's already here, her forces are already positioned to do something, and I guess this is where the paths cross. Again, Vermilion's got no way off this world, and we're gonna have to see where the story leads. Overall, not too bad, not too bad. I like the humor in this early section. Again, it's quite funny that Donnie Vermilion has the gall to go after Nova Terra, aka Nova, because she's basically one of the most deadly assassins, basically one of the best ghosts, one of the top killers. And it starts with him screaming at her, and it ends with him screaming and her watching him. What a twist. Alright, so that's kind of it. There's not too much else to break down. Nothing else to shoot, to be honest. So we're going to skip the section where I recreate a battle, because there's no battle. Again, if you like this content, do like and subscribe. I'll be reading through the other parts, part 3 and part 2. You can check it out on the YouTube channel, and also follow me on Twitch if you want to watch it live. If not, that's all for me. Do like and subscribe for the Zegling. Nam 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 nam.